Today's piece is Being and Becoming by Bunk, written in 2010. It's for toy piano and electronics. This is what the first page of the score looks like. And then we have lots of staves for the electronics. Okay. So program notes, we have three quotes. First one is from Chick. Our way of organizing the data, which rushes in Gestalt style, that is in increasingly abstract form, speeds up experience into dangerous topsy-turvy fast-forward comedy. Our need for rapid disposal eliminates the details that bewitch, hold, or delay children. Art is one rescue from this chaotic acceleration, meter in poetry, tempo in music, form and color in painting, but we do feel that we are speeding earthward, crashing into our graves. And then a quote from Socrates. And a thing is not seen because it is visible, but conversely visible because it is seen. Nor is a thing led because it is in the state of being led, or carried because it is in the state of being carried, but the converse of this. It does not become because it is becoming, but it is in a state of becoming because it becomes. Then the third quote is by Cooper. Wait a minute, wait a minute. This is, excuse me, a damn fine cup of coffee. First performed by Xenia Postova. I believe I follow this pianist on Instagram at the International Computer Music Conference, pretty sure. Any toy piano with any register can be used. 3-octave toy piano is in mind from F2 to F5, sounding an octave higher, so from F3 to F6. Yeah. There are 4 gradations of loudness: piano, mezzo forte, forte. That's kind of interesting. I might steal that for the piece I'm writing right now. Um, yeah, I think my teacher Kokoras said he writes some pieces with only 3 dynamic gradations. But I think in this case, it is not just a stylistic choice. It's like the toy piano only has such a dynamic range, right? There's some extended techniques for the toy piano. I guess these can be observed in the video recording of the performance. So, bowing the body of the toy piano, friction tremolo. This is by gently touching the top of the keys and moving them without the keys depressing. So, yeah, you can shake the black keys, for example. Or, yeah, there's 2 different ones. So the black key one I think makes more sense. Uh, this is like putting your fingers in between the black keys and shaking them back and forth. Whereas this one, you're sort of touching the tops of the white keys or black keys and shaking them. And then there's just regular tremolos. Blowing on the keys. That must be a pretty quiet one. So we have some playing positions as well. So here's the stage. And then the 2 speakers are not left and right. It's more like there's a front right and a back left. That's where the electronics is coming from. And then you have a position for the performer on stage where the toy piano is being amplified. And then if you walk across the hall, there's position 2. No toy piano there, just the performer has to go there. Halfway in between, you have something called position 1. So yeah, I guess the idea is you really just get sounds in mono, but from at different points in the piece, it's from different speakers. So you get a mono signal from here, which is supposed to mimic the the toy piano. So you get like a stereo effect, but like live and not live. And the same thing here. It mentions a few times that when the performer is in this corner, they're bowing their score, basically. So that sound is mimicked over here. Let's look into the composer first, and then we'll have a listen here. It's our first Bunk episode. an American composer and improviser inspired by many forms of experimental artistic expression. Influenced by the EA improv scene in and around Boston and New York. His music occupies many concert halls and art galleries and fringe performance spaces. He produces the concert series Open Sound in Somerville, Massachusetts. He's also chair of the Somerville Arts Council. He co-directs Kaleidoscope Music. I think I follow them on Instagram, which is a New York City-based new music ensemble. He is associate professor of music at Franklin Pierce University in New Hampshire. There he teaches electronic music and composition. His PhD was from Brandeis, and that was in music composition and theory. So very concise bio. I like it. I like that it's not very focused on like listing collaborators or performances. It's more like here's my work as a music director and as someone in arts administration, and here's what I do musically. It's a really good artist statement, I think. Let's have a listen to the piece now. I believe it's on YouTube, so I'll put a link to that in the video description for all of you to enjoy. Yes, it's pretty interesting. It's definitely up my alley. It's a interesting contribution to the toy piano series because it's so different. Yeah, I thought it was interesting that and for the most part, the electronics just sat on top of the toy piano, which was in its lower register, but still quite high, right? So you didn't get any low frequencies really, just lots of like really high sine tones. And I liked that mix of like high sine tone stuff with toy piano. Um, Towards the end, it gets a little bit more textural. Like he introduces early on this idea of like these bell-like sounds, which are like a distorted toy piano. Those don't get explored until later. Um, it kind of reminded me of like the sounds themselves kind of reminded me of the Simon Steen Anderson piece we looked at, I think in the chamber orchestra series. But of course, it's very different context. Also, a lot to be learned about pacing. 15 minutes is kind of a difficult time frame to work with as a composer, so this might be one thing to look at if you're struggling to fill 15 minutes with not a lot of material, or you're trying to stretch material over a long time. I think this does a good job of that. I have one more piece in my spreadsheet for toy piano and electronics by Matt Malsky. So if I can find that, that's tomorrow.